G'day everybody, it's Dave Long here again from Dave Long Custom Lures. Yeah, back in the factory again, and I've had a bit of a break. I've been doing a lot of stuff for myself and personal use, and maybe I'll show that to you later on, but today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. It's going to be a deep diver for specifically for coral trout. Where I live there's a bit of reef around the ridges, and apparently they catch coral trout on the reef. Now the reef is probably, it's a local reef just offshore, and rather popular in Gatticas Bay, and which is in Harvey Bay, and I'm quite curious to see if this will work. I think it will. I've got a lot of confidence in it. What I'm doing is painting a crankbait today for the coral trout, but I'm doing it in a pattern that I haven't done for a long time, and I'm just sort of a bit rusty on it, I think. I'll show you what it looks like actually. There it is there. It's called a Conroyle Candy, which is a lot of colour, a lot of bling, a lot of colour. Got pinks, reds, purples and gold in it, and it's basically just like a Christmas tree underwater. And that's what the customer who asked me to do something like this come up with. He wanted colour. So anyway, that's it, Conroyle Candy. Now the reason I'm using this on a deep diver is that this deep dive will get down to 3-4 metres, which I think will be perfect over this reef. Because it'll get it right down close to the little caves and outcrops that the coral trout live in. And if you're overseas and you don't know what a coral trout is, it's probably the second most favourite eating fish for me in the ocean. It's a rather how would you say, aggressive hunter, lives and hunts in ambush mode in the reef, and generally they come out of the coral outcrops and caves and ambush their prey. So yeah, so I've got this one designed to do that, and yeah, it's a beauty. It's a deep diver. It's an actual suspending lure. So when I'm towing this behind my kayak, if I have to stop, it'll stop and stay in position midstream in the water column. So anyway, this is all my theory, and I'm wanting to get this going. So what I'm doing, I'm going to show you how to do this, and I've already started on it. As you can see, it's only undercoat. I put a white undercoat on the belly and on the sides, and there's a black undercoat on the top. I wanted the back to be darker for the pattern, as you'll see later on. The paints we're going to be using for the pink a fluorescent raspberry, and I've actually diluted it with white just to make it more pinker, and you'll see that later on. The purple is just purple, opaque purple, and that goes on the sides, not on the back, on the sides. So we'll use that, and then I'm going to be doing a gold on my stencil pattern here. It's this one I call the Crazy Ivan, and it is really out there. It's got scaly look to it, it's got all sorts of looks to it, which I like. That'll come up good with the gold. We may have to put on a couple or 3 coats of gold, because gold, to be effective, it has to be on at a heavy strength. And then on the head, basically on the top of the head and down on the side here, I'm going to be putting bright red. It's a red colour, wicked red. I'll be just using that, but that'll bring out a bit more damage to the pattern. Now, I know what you're saying. You won't see all these colours when it goes deeper, 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 and you won't. But some of the colours will hold, like the golds may hold. Reds will fade after about 3 or 4 metres. They'll dim a bit. Purples, well, I've got no idea. I think they'll just phase right out. And the pink, I think the pink holds a little bit longer than the red. But look, when it's down deep, there's other fish down there on the reef with various colours to them and patterns, and they're living on the reef at a lot deeper than 5 metres, and I'm sure that they're there to blend in a bit with the colours of the coral and so forth. But, okay, so anyway, that's all right, that's good, that's all theory. Let's get into it and get started. So first colour I'm going to put on is the pink, and I'm going to be using the 0.35 Iwata. Yeah, this is the clips, and I only recently bought this just to spoil myself a little bit, and yeah, I'm rather happy with it. It's been doing a lot of work lately, and boy oh boy, it can be very versatile. I'm very happy with it, and it needs a bit of a clean at the moment. But anyway, that's the Eclipse Iwata HPCS. This gear is made in Japan and by Iwata, and pretty good gear. I like it. Okay, so we'll put the pink in here into the chamber. Now, if I'm talking too much, it's because I've got to cover a fair amount of information within a certain period of time on the video, but hence if I'm talking too much and you get sick of my voice, just let me know and I'll cut it down a bit if I have to. Alright, here we go, we're going for the pink. Lovely colour. I'll put a couple of coats of this on, being iridescent. I don't want to go too high, and we'll just dry that off in between coats. old airbrush is playing up the switch on it, so getting a bit sticky. But there we go, that makes a difference. Nice pinky colour. This is an old pattern. I did this a long time ago, and I found it a bit too bright for the freshwater scene. It may be alright, I don't know, but it just, I might just take that off there. It's getting a bit, I'm missing the spot there. See the spot on it? Just go over that. And yeah, I found it a bit bright for the freshwater scene. It was just a little bit sort of out there. It may be alright, I don't know. But anyway, we'll try it on the coral trout. It's a nice pink one. Come up very nice. That's enough. There we go. So I'll just let that dry off in its own mode. I'll just wash that out. I'll be washing out this a fair bit during this pattern. Just a little bit more than I usually do. And as you can see, I haven't used any more black on this pattern. It's just colour. Bright colours, and it's good. Yeah, even around the eyes. I'm going to be using black eyes, or you can use, probably on the deeper divers, you could use a glow in the dark. Yeah, I like that pink, that's lovely. Okay, you can see that? Yeah, beautiful. Alright, we'll just put it back in its cradle again. And it's a bit of an overcast day today. Doesn't worry me, we need the moisture. So I'm relying on a lot of artificial light here. I'll just check something here too, one minute. Yeah, okay, we're on target. Alright, so now we're going to use this purple. Really dark, isn't it? But you'd be surprised, this purple is complementary with this pink. So that's something to remember, complementing colours. You don't want to get too sidetracked, because in nature, complementary colours are very natural. Okay, here we go. We're going just on the sides. I'll even go over the eye area there, it doesn't matter. The red's going to cover that later on. So here we go. We'll just put the lovely purple. And it's actually bleeding into that pink. See, it just blends in nicely with it. Okay, I'll just go over the other side. Just up on the shoulder. There we go. And I'll just try that off to see it's end result. I think that's enough. I think that's enough. It just sort of gives that glint of purple. That's lovely. That's enough. We'll just put that aside and clean that out again. These coral trout, like I said, are beautiful eating. If I go and get fish and chips with the missus, that's our first choice, coral trout. It's beautiful. Just love it. Okay, so we've got that. We've just dried that off. We've still got that black on the top. That's good. That's excellent. So now we're going to put on the mask. Now this is a bit tricky, this one. This is an actual ribbon you can get for florists, I think. I don't know where it was from. I liked it because of its scaly look on it too. But as you can see on this big bait, it doesn't come right down the sides and underneath, which is okay. We're not going to need it underneath. See how it's sort of down to just to the bottom edge. So what I've got to do is be very particular without scratching this paint too. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I'll need to get smaller clamps. I'll just use bulldogs, and we've lost tension there. That's better. Oh, there's a bit of all fingers on deck here. Yeah, I hope you're enjoying these videos. I'm enjoying making them. And like I said, if you like them and subscribe. Here we go. I know it's a bit small, that one. And that way you'll be in the know of what's going on. Yeah, I think that's okay. And we've got the back done there, so I'm just going to be very gentle here. Very genteel. Very genteel, that's the word. I want to make sure that, there we are, that's good. I want to make sure that I've got it fairly tight over that colour, black. So now we put a bigger bulldog on there, I think. Yeah, keep that one in there, like that. And I think that should be enough. I think that should be enough. I can't do any more with that. Alright, so now what I might do is put a bigger one up the front. There. So it's got a little stand. There we go. So if you can see that, that's the pattern. Now what I'm going to do is put a gold over that. I might mix that gold. Let's have a look. I need a container for that. Excuse my arm. Yeah, I think that one will do. That'll do. These containers are great. This is what my hooks come in, these containers. And they seem to have a good seal on them. Anyway, they're good for mixing paint. I'll just put the gold in there. I might shake that up a little bit more. This is just wicked metallic gold. It'll add a bit of bling into the pattern. Might need a fair bit of this. And I might just, because it's metallic, I might just loosen it up a little bit with this 0.35 because it might clog. That's it. I should have mixed that up before, but anyway, I didn't. Okay, in it goes. And we'll just give this, hopefully there's enough there for a couple of coats. There we go, put that over there. Rightio, so what I do now, I don't just blast it on if I can. I'm going on an angle, and it's going to be from the back to the front. Okay, so whoops, that's better. Okay, I'll just try this. I'll just put it on liberally to start off with. Because it's a little bit looser. Okay, we'll just try another coat. Like that. We'll just give that a little dry. Well, I might give it one more for good measure. There we go. So I'll just let that dry off a little bit and then I'll take that off. I'll just wash this out. I'm just using water for this, to wash this out, that's all. Nothing fancy. You can get all this fancy chemicals and blah blah blah, but I don't need it. And I've got a bin next to me that I use for any of this stuff. Okay, now we'll just dry that off again. You know, if anything, this looks very reefy. Colours in it, unbelievable. Some of the fish you get off the reef are unbelievable. You know, they great colours and great patterns. Now, I'll just take this off gently. There we go. There we are. And that's it. It's got that bling to it. It's got the scaly look to it. Different patterns for it. I love it. Yeah, I love that pattern. I don't use that enough. I should use that more. Anyway, we'll put that on the cradle again so you can have a look at it. Now we've got some colours going now. This is just out there. It's woo. Okay, so now we're going to put on the red on the head. Okay. And this does set it off. It really does set it off. Conroyle Candy. I don't know if you could use this. I might make up a few lures for freshwater scene and see if it works. You never know. You never know your luck in a big city. Okay, so I'll just put this into the chamber, and there we go. Oh yeah, this is good. And what we're going to do now is, I hope you can see this. Actually, I'll just bend it down a little bit, that's better. I'm going to start on the top and then just sort of work down. See, there's an eye, and then there's a gill section just underneath it, and there's another further gill out. I don't think we'll go right out there. We'll just go to that first gill section on this one, and we may need a few coats of this. that's it. So I'll just dry that one off. So when you dry that off, it's soaked in, see, that first coat. So I'll just go over that. I dare say you'd be picking up other stuff too on the reef with this lure because it's down deep. I'll just give it one more coat just to Alright, there we are. Well, I didn't go underneath, I just don't bother underneath. You could if you wanted to, you can go underneath, but I'm happy with that. There we go. So I'll just let that dry off a little bit. Yeah, that's come up pretty good. So it didn't take that long to do this one. I've put some eyes on it. Now I've run out of super glue, which is a real bother. I like to put super glue on the eyes because they do tend to come off. I'll just leave a bit of water in that so it doesn't dry out. There we go. Alright, so just dry that off with the air. What I might do, I might put some UVLS on that too, just to seal those colours. I think that's probably a good idea. Let's see, I'll get that. And what I might do, I might put I'll put the eyes on. I'll attempt the impossible and put the eyes on so you get a vision of what it looks like at the end of the day. I'll put this UVLS on. If you don't know what this UVLS is, it's a gloss-based, water-based, acrylic aliphatic polyurethane, which is, to me, a sealer. Okay, and it is quite good actually. You can use it for a few applications apart from just this, which is rather beneficial. I actually, I have got no, for example, I've got no gloss black. I've only got a opaque, which is probably the closest to it. And what I did, I mixed the UVLS with the black because it's gloss, it's high gloss, and it came up okay. It looked alright. So anyway, just a bit of a tip. I'm swapping over to the bigger 0.5 because this can clog up your gun a bit if you're not quick enough. So I'd rather use it on the 0.5. And this is an Iwata too. This is the Revolution 0.5, and I'm happy with this one. It gives a great spread. Okay, now let's give this a hit. and you'll see the colours really bounce out now. They'll really pop. And look at that, I love it. Love those colours. Look at that pattern. That is just superb. I love it. This is my own pattern. I created this one back. It's one of the first patterns. Within a year, I started this pattern. That's about eight years ago now, I suppose. Time flies when you have fun. But we'll just use all this up. That's it. Beautiful. I'll just wash that out real quick. And let that dry off a little bit. So that's the colours now really pop now. They've come out beautifully. And that will be easier to epoxy later on too. It'll come up nice and glossy and wet looking. Okay, now I'll just see if we can get some eyes out. Now they're a big eye. That's a big eye. That's about 7 or 8. So I don't know if they've got blacks in that side. I'll come close. We'll come close. We've got 7s here. We've got big pupil, black pupil ones. We've got red ones. Let's have a look in here. I'm sure we've got big black ones. Big black eyes. Somewhere here. Not here. Not the 6s. See? Yeah, 6. There we are. A little bit small, but it's not too bad. I don't mind that. Yeah, we'll put them on. Bit of a tight corner, this one. Always has been. I made this bench when I started. I thought, so I used to paint a lot of military stuff too, so it's always been good to me. I'll just see if we can get these eyes going. I know that's still wet, but we'll stick those on. Actually, I might dry that off a bit. Just with air. I'm not going to heat it. Whoop. Whoop. Let's dry that off. I'm not going to touch it with my fingers, but just for the eyes mainly. That's a bit better. Dry it off a bit. Yeah, so we put the black eyes on. Okay. I'll put the eyes right up the front there. There we go. Alright, so I'll take this off so you can get a better look. Take that out of there. That's it. And there we have it. It's a deep diver. This will go down, like I said, 3.5, 4 metres, and I think it'll be perfect. Just gliding through over the reef there. Got a big wrapper in it, suspended. Yeah, I think that's perfect. Perfect blank. It's nice and plump too. It looks like a nice feed for a coral trout. You think so anyway. Anyway, that is it. That is my Conroyle Candy, and I'll sign that off when it dries a bit and put some epoxy on it. Probably only take a coat. Anyway, we'll see. And yeah, soon we'll be able to get that out and give it a hit. I love that gold, that gold. It's lovely, scaly look, beautiful. All right, thanks very much for watching. And like I said, if you like and then subscribe. Excuse me. And we'll see you guys next time with something probably different. Okay, thank you.